Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're cracking the code on how modern application development is rapidly replacing all those clunky, crashing legacy systems that so many businesses are unfortunately stuck with. We'll be using Spark Out Tech's delivery framework as our blueprint to really look under the hood at how high-performing software is actually built and shipped today. Let's get into it. So, I want you to picture this. It's a high-stakes, real-world scenario. Your marketing team absolutely nails a campaign. The product goes completely viral, but your legacy system suddenly gets hit with a massive, unprecedented spike in traffic. Now, for marketing, that is the absolute dream scenario. But for your IT department, it's pretty much a waking nightmare involving 3 a.m. panic calls and way too much cold coffee.
Well, here's the grim reality of those older setups. The server burns out and your sudden success literally turns to ashes. Legacy systems are just notoriously rigid and they're fragile. They choke under pressure. And what's worse, you're bleeding money just to keep that dead code on life support. It actually costs 3 times more to maintain than modern systems, all while your competitors are moving 10 times faster.
Which brings us to Section 1, the modern paradigm: speed, scale, and survival. There's a massive mindset shift happening here. You see, traditional development always asked, what can we build? But modern application development asks something totally different. What should we build? How fast can we ship it? And how do we ensure it survives? It's no longer about just throwing some code together and keeping your fingers crossed on launch day. It's about engineering cloud-native powerhouses right from day one that are specifically designed for rapid delivery. You know the old way of doing things. Typical agencies tend to hit you with these unpredictable hourly billing surprises, right? And testing is treated like a total afterthought, just crammed into that final week before launch. But with a modern approach, like what we see with Spark Out, it's a fixed price. You know the exact cost before a single line of code is written. Plus, automated tests are running instantly, catching bugs the exact second they appear. It's a total game changer for project management. The absolute foundation of this modern approach is being cloud native. And that means your software isn't just hosted on the cloud, it's literally born there. We're talking auto-scaling infrastructure. We're talking containerized setups using Docker and Kubernetes. You can think of these as standardized, highly efficient shipping containers for your code. The whole thing is meticulously designed for 99.9% uptime. The beauty here is that your applications scale dynamically based on real traffic, so you finally stop burning cash on rigid, idle servers. Let's move right along to Section 2, the execution blueprint, breaking down the 4 phases of delivery. This is where we see a really rigorous 4-step sequence that helps elite teams hit a staggering 97% on-time launch rate. First, Phase 1, you define the design and lock in that architectural blueprint. Phase 2, you build and integrate functional software quickly. Phase 3, you continuously test and harden the system. And finally, Phase 4, you deploy and scale with zero downtime. It's essentially a relentless machine built for total predictability. And within those phases, you aren't just sitting around for months waiting for vague progress reports. You're getting bi-weekly live sprint demos of working software. You have a continuous integration and deployment pipeline running live from day one, meaning code changes are automatically tested on every single commit. They even use something called chaos engineering, which literally means intentionally breaking things in a safe environment just to ensure your system automatically recovers. You're hardening security and stability at every single save. All right, that leads us perfectly into Section 3, investment and ROI, the business impact. Just think about this number for a second. 60%. That is the potential drop in your infrastructure costs? Seriously? And how does that happen? By moving to those auto-scaling containers we talked about earlier. When your app is quiet, you aren't paying for massive server capacity. But when traffic spikes, it scales instantly. You completely stop paying for idle time. But beyond the direct cost savings, your business gains incredible agility. You're looking at 2-week sprint shipping, meaning fresh, usable features are in production every fortnight. You get 0% downtime deploys, so no more taking your app offline for maintenance at 3 a.m. Your system smoothly handles 10 times the traffic spikes without breaking a sweat, acting like a giant shock absorber. And you get a single codebase running flawlessly everywhere, across all platforms. That is a massive operational advantage.
And to put this all into perspective, this isn't just a playground for massive tech giants. Whether you need a scoped MVP for idea validation starting around $15,000 in 6 to 8 weeks, a scalable app for growing B2C expansion in a few months starting at $50K, or even a huge custom multi-team enterprise modernization, the timelines and the fixed scope costs are completely predictable. You know exactly what you're getting, when you're getting it, and how much it will cost from the very beginning.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this one question. Are you going to stay stuck pouring money into patching dead code? Or are you ready to actually outpace the competition with software built to scale? Because the reality is, your competitors are already shifting to cloud-native systems. It's no longer a question of if you should modernize, but how fast you can do it to leave them in the dust. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive.